Hi, this is Tracy from Inspired Chi, and I'm bringing you your July messages. If you are new here, welcome. You're going to want to tune into the thumbnail or just right here and kind of hone in on the pile of cards where you feel like your messages are coming from, and you'll resonate probably the most in that pile. If you find that you're not really connecting to that pile and you were drawn to another one, go ahead and do that. But keep in mind that this is a group reading, so not every one thing will resonate. If you want to book a personal reading, I'll put the information down below. We are not taking any in-person readings for July as we finish up for our annual retreat, but there are some virtuals available. Just a quick heads up, tomorrow is Sunday the 7th, and we have back-to-back meditations over at True Healing. The first one is a guided spiritual meditation. The theme is Labyrinth. And then at 2 o'clock, we're doing a nervous system reset meditation. Some of you may remember that from 11 Well Fitness. So we added a couple bells and whistles to that as well. Look forward to seeing you. That's wonderful if you have anxiety, ASD, ADHD, POTS, Parkinson's, a myriad of things. Also, Monday the 8th is the final day for the head count for the retreat. So if you're on the RSP guest list and you still have to pay, I'll put the link below as well. If you still wanted to RSVP, we have about 5 spots available. And again, Monday is the deadline that we have to give currently the head count. So I will put the information below if you're interested in that. Okay, so we're honing in on pile 1, 2, or 3. We're doing this on the energy of a new moon in Cancer. It's been quite an emotional new moon. New moons are great times for starting projects and new beginnings, but there's a lot of energy from the previous full moon. If you're closing out some karmic cycles that might be kind of settling in at this point in time. So that's really what we're looking at for July. We're wanting to see, how we're starting out this month while we still have kind of like a form that we were in that isn't quite into the next form yet. So it's kind of like in this middle period for some of you. So again, see where you resonate, 1, 2, or 3, and head right to your reading. Okay, pile number 1. We are going to go one by one into the cards. We have some from the Chakra Oracle, the Spirit Deck, the Yin Yang, and the Sun and Moon Tarot. So the energy that I'm getting first off the bat, we have the Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands, okay? So the focus is on relationships. They do not have to be romantic. They could be business partnerships, mother-daughter relationships, best friend relationships. Take it how it resonates for you. And the Knight of Wands is an impulsive, quick-moving energy. And for some of you, and the way this is coming out specifically with this deck, is you're reaching some realization about some immaturity in your relationships, okay? I'm going to be honest, this could be on your side or the person that you're dealing with. Be honest with yourself while you're taking this advice. Otherwise, it's not going to be any good to you. The Two of Cups is a partnership, and a lot of times it's a divinely led partnership. Like you were meant to do a certain amount of things here together, or you were meant to see a certain lesson together. And like I said in the intro, we have some karmic lessons that are wrapping up and some cycles that are coming to an end, and that may be difficult. Okay, so just do your best to be as wise as you can with it and handle it as compassionately for yourself and the people involved as possible. So the spirit card that we're getting is memories. So you might be feeling very sentimental about this. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in the spirit world, for neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. Okay, so while you're facing this relationship on the 3D plane that you are dealing with, in the spirit world, we have a connection to memories. And one of the direct ones I'm getting here is, some of you may have been of service in the space of when either a parent or a grandparent or, an older loved one was crossing over, because that's the energy that we have here. And if you look at the coloring here, we have some energy for the solar plexus as well as the sacral. Okay, so really feeling this intuitive nudges that you're getting, and you're being divinely led and guided by this person on the other side, and the people that your spirit teams are, but as well as the people that were your ancestors and your loved ones on the other side, because whatever's happening right now, it's extremely difficult, and they are seeing that struggle. So you're not alone, and they're just coming through to just kind of let you know, one, they appreciate everything that you did for them in this lifetime, but also that they are looking out for you, okay? And they're just making sure that everything is as it should be. So do your very best to walk away from a situation, even temporarily, to get some clarity in your own isolation about what to do about these relationships that are going to be coming up for you the month of July. Now, we also have discovery. So, and this is connected to the root chakra. So you may be repeating a cycle of something in the past that made you feel like not grounded or unsafe or unstable in some way. I'm not speaking in the mental capacity so much, although that may be for some of you. I'm speaking of it literally shook your world, like your foundation shook. So you're starting to discover so many things about yourself, and you're being asked to kind of go back to a time when you had to face something that you weren't prepared for, that was a very emotional or emotionally charged situation in a relationship, and how you handled that and what you learned and how you came out on the other side. That's going to be the best way for you to look at this as far as it pertains to your growth. That being said, definitely be compassionate with yourself. Know that you're not alone. The focus is on relationships. And again, if that immaturity is coming from your end, it's just an awareness, to bring some time and thought into your decision making. But if this is somebody that you're dealing with, we have a little bit of other energy coming in here. We have disharmony, triggers, and conflict. So again, this might be coming up in your personal relationships throughout July. And also guarded versus being vulnerable. So it really looks like, because this feels like a repeating pattern, whether it's within the relationship that you're dealing with or because you've experienced this in other relationships before, okay? But just pay attention to the triggers that are coming in at this point to see if they're trying to guide you on a different path. And right now it seems like you're being very guarded, and I think that's probably your best stance for moving through this. Like I said, be open, be honest with yourself if there's something that you can do to improve the situation. But if this is a cycle that keeps repeating and you find yourself being triggered, get to the deeper meaning in the relationships, because this is not just about this current relationship that you're going to be dealing with, or relationships that you're going to be dealing with in the month of July. There is such a bigger lesson here for you to take away. So kind of like zoom out a little bit when you're dealing with this. Okay, the Knight of Wands can also indicate a change of location. So this could be in your where you reside in your home space. This could also be in the career space of you changing locations, either to a new job or maybe a new part of that job. So while it does look like there is some bumpiness in your relationships in July, just, you're prepared for it. Just be aware of it. It's a path to self-discovery to learn more about yourself. And it does look like you are on a journey of that self-discovery and getting to a better place of harmony. Okay? So just be patient with yourself. Do your best to be patient with others. But don't be afraid to cut out or kind of isolate yourself from anything that's triggering for you at this time, so you can privately work through why you're facing those triggers. Good luck. Okay, twos. Kind of what's happening for you the month of July. And like I said in the beginning of this reading, this new moon in Cancer is a very emotional sign. Cancer is a water sign. So there's some cycles that are ending and some things that are moving out, where closer to the beginning of the month, you're going to get to a place of where you're feeling like there's progress moving ahead. And then there's going to be a moment to stop, okay? Because we're having the tarot cards that you're getting is the Chariot and the Moon. Now, Chariot is, full steam ahead, victory, and that's a wonderful card to get. But the Moon can indicate, sometimes we're dealing with your intuition, yes, with the Moon. But it can also indicate a period of uncertainty, and things really coming to light, or seeing how you really truly feel about something as it unfolds. So be really patient, because as you start out in July, even though you're having a little bit of progress, there may be a time about maybe mid-month where you're just really uncertain about the direction that you're about to go in. So ahead of time, your guides really want you to know. There's a lot of red here too, so we're dealing with the root chakra quite a bit. So from Spirit, you're getting listen. You have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not just to what's being said, but what lies beneath the words. We also, because we have this moon here, and in this particular deck, it has some, it does have the words and the interpretation there, but it is a little different for everyone and in each deck. So there is a possibility to misinterpret something or misunderstand something. So your guides want you to be really careful in dealing with specifically a romantic relationship, okay, for some of you. For others of you, you are dealing with the soulmate energy, okay? This could be in a business partnership situation. This doesn't feel any different. It doesn't feel like a friendship or a family connection. This feels very much somebody that you were meant to come together with to do something that was really important and that inspires passion, right? But that's not going to come till a little later in the month. So just check yourself at this point where you're starting to feel uncertain or you're not sure which direction to go in. Hold off on making a choice at that time until you have a little bit more clarity, okay? And just be really careful. I want to say this is reminding me of like Mercury retrograde energy. There are a lot of planets in retrograde at the moment. I'm not like super sure about all of them. I will check in on the Mercury retrograde, but it does look like there is an area where you're going to be really struggling with communication. So make sure that if you're having any serious conversations, you're having them in person or on the phone. Don't rely on text messages and emails to get the inflection right, because I feel like, there's such a heightened emotion around you right now that it's very possible for you to jump to conclusions or for your own words to be misinterpreted. So just be aware of that. We have the card of recovery, all right? And this is a space where you have to stop and take a rest, all right? You could be recovering from an illness, a painful situation. You could just be burnt out from work, or something like that. Or you could be in, actual addiction recovery. But at this time, you need to take that time out for yourself to heal, because I feel like a lot of this misinterpretation is based on the fact that not just your nervous system is being, really triggered, but also you're having trouble navigating because you can't see completely ahead of you. And sometimes when we're like that, we make rash decisions out of fear, okay? And that's what you want to avoid at this time. You just want to take a little rest, okay? If you have deadlines, if you have other things going on, just know that Spirit has your back in this situation. So listen to your body, listen to your mind. If you need to take a personal day, take a personal day, all right? And like I was saying, we're dealing with soulmate energy here. This could be romantic, it could be in a business connection, but you're dealing with someone where you're dealing with this struggle, really. You might be recovering from a breakup, but you're also in a place where something really exciting is about to take place for you. I want to say either closer towards the end of the month or to the end of the summer. Timing is fluid in this situation, but we have the soulmate card here, right? It's like you're recovering from something, yet then we have attraction and passion, right? Fire energy. So some of you may be attracting in a new soulmate. They may be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Okay, but this also could be a passionate new beginning. So again, when I was feeling this wasn't really a family energy, it could be a romantic situation, but if this is a business partnership, that would be really good too, because it would be coming in hot. It would be in a situation where there's a lot of inspiration and new beginnings and exciting new starts and getting real movement, especially when we have that with the Chariot over here. But like I said, be careful with your communication. Make sure that you're completely understanding. A lot of times you think you're on the same page, but what you have different views of things. And while I don't see a whole lot of conflict here, I would say just to be really aware that you are reading the fine print, having the conversations, not just listening to the people that you're dealing with, but making sure that when you are speaking, if it's not coming out right or you can't gather your words, that you're taking some time to gather your thoughts before sharing them, so that you can stay away from that misinterpretation and get back into progress. Okay, but overall too, it looks like you have a very exciting and passionate month coming in. It looks like it's really going to take off towards the end of the month, so you're going to want to have that recovery and that space of burnout, of rest, of whatever you might be dealing with. The recovery is very much like the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords comes after the Three of Swords, so you might be dealing with some type of loss or heartbreak. It doesn't have to be because someone passed. It could be just something that's not in your life anymore that you're dealing with. Okay, so good luck with that. Okay, and if you picked 3, you might have the best reading for July, or the best energies. So do your very best to utilize these to your advantage at this point in time. We don't always have months this positive. That being said, let's get into why that's going to be working for you. We're starting out with choices. So you're going to have maybe a crossroads to come upon, or multiple options coming your way, an opportunity. Well, there's definitely a big opportunity. I'll get to that in a minute. But saying when you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, you begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You'll be able to listen and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you and apply it positively and constructively to your outside world. And I just want to say positively again because you have positivity in your reading already. So this is in the blue space, okay? So we might be dealing with throat chakra issues, which is your expressing yourself fully and clearly. So you do have that coming in, but remember as you're doing that to do, I'm not talking about toxic positivity, that we don't pretend we don't have feelings and we pretend that everything's wonderful when it's not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, keeping that piece of hope and kind of expecting a positive outcome, because I'm telling you it's here. The outcome is here and it's very positive. There's something here with you needing to work on some forgiveness. And a lot of times when this comes up for me, we're dealing with some inner child stuff. So you're either forgiving someone from your past, forgiving yourself from the past, but there's some type of forgiveness that needs to take place so that you're not carrying this into this next chapter, right? And it's almost like you can choose that. You can choose the path of forgiveness, whether you are renewing a situation or connecting in that situation, or you're just putting down the baggage because it's heavy and you don't want to bring it into the next chapter, which is going to be more like that for some of you. You have a massive transformation happening. This is beautiful energy in the root chakra, which is a really grounding space. So almost like from the roots up, you're changing everything on a cellular level, and it's just so positive because it's like when you're getting all of the the weeds out of your garden, and then you take away all of the dying. I'm not really good at gardening, so take it how it comes out. But when you kind of maybe pare away all of the dead leaves, and then you're left with your blooming flower again, and you could see that moving forward, and then it helps it to grow. That's where you're at. Okay, so if you want to think about this forgiveness and this part of the journey and this really last lesson before this next opportunity for you as just kind of paring away the dead leaves around your beautiful plant so it can grow and transform into what it's really meant to look like and meant to be. You're dealing with a lot of growth, and specifically it says summer, so we're right on track with that. And all of the growth that you're doing in these summer months, whether it's the forgiveness or other things that you're doing, making choices, expressing yourself fully, making decisions that will get you closer to the goals that you want to have versus excessively people pleasing maybe. And I feel like it's almost like there's a breath of fresh air coming into your energy, like a new beginning. Like I feel like what I'm talking about with this people pleasing is a lesson that you already worked through, but you might see it come back again when you are moving into a new opportunity. Because with every new opportunity, a lot of times there's almost like a little test that goes on. Not every time, okay? But for big ones like this transformation, the universe, your guides, a lot of time they'll put something in your path and be like, are you really ready? Or have you really grown? So just be aware of those things. It's not there to trick you. It's there to help you so that you could recognize those patterns and course correct, which looks like what you're doing. So before I go to this other opportunity, let's just talk about the fact that you have 2 aces in your reading. Like even that, you have 2 aces in your reading, and they're like the best ones too. You have the Ace of Wands, which is new and passionate beginnings. And then you have the Sun card right next to it coming in with positivity. So whatever negativity is in this is, what is that? Oh my gosh, excuse that noise. The Sun's really coming in to put a positive spin on whatever the negative is. But because the Sun's here to illuminate, be aware of what they're trying to show you when you start this new beginning, okay? Ooh. And then the other ace that you have is a really earth energy coming in here, but it's like the Ace of Pentacles, which is a golden opportunity, something that is going to be able to, sustain, get legs, right? So the seeds that you're planting at this time, like if this was a job, a new opportunity, if this was, maybe you're buying a property and it's a new opportunity, you're looking at that. And again, it looks like it's coming in towards maybe the end of the summer because all of this growth and transformation for you is happening in the summer months. So do your best in the month of July to really maybe search yourself to see what you might still be holding on to so that you can kind of go through this transformation and have a fresh slate. So when you come in, to these beautiful aces and the sun, you're able to accept that in a way that you understand the deservingness of you. I probably could have phrased that better. Let me put this, how do I put this? Okay. You do not want to let any feelings of unworthiness ruin these opportunities for you. So work that out early on before they come in so that you can embrace these positively and confidently, because these are really beautiful energies coming in for you. I'm really excited. Good luck.